guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Jackie. Alert the media, Beauty Bakerie has launched foundations. Alert the media! I got this big old box from Beauty Bakerie. This is adorable. It literally looks exactly like an easy bake oven. But the best part is that Beauty Bakerie has finally come out with foundation. I feel like this was a long time coming. This was like what was expected from the brand for a long periodically time. So the foundations come in 30 shades, which I think is really good. I think that's a pretty good start. There are 10 neutral, 10 cool, and 10 that are warm. Cashmere Nicole doing it for the culture, trying to get all the bases covered. Just by looking at the foundations so far, it seems like they've sent me one red, one yellow, and one that's neutral. I could just by looking at it in the box. I don't want to open the box. I don't want to open it yet. So let's go ahead and get right into the review, shall we? Before we do get started, make sure you're not a part of the 60% and hit that subscribe button. I love seeing you guys continuously coming back. I love seeing you guys in the comments. I just love seeing you guys in general. And hey, if you don't want to subscribe, no judgment, but I would appreciate it if you did. Okay, so here is your girl in the flesh of the blood, barefaced. Ooh. Okay, I'm feeling really good because I just did a peel, so your girl's skin is glowing or whatever. The name of the foundation is Cake Mix. I honestly do die. I die. So as explained earlier, I have 3 colors with me. It's called the Cake Mix. It is described as a demi-matte foundation. It says it's vegan, long-lasting, and non-acnegenic. I don't know if that necessarily means it's non-comedogenic. I think those are 2 different things, but I'll take that. And if some of y'all would start getting real serious about giving up dairy, you won't have to worry about acne. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I know dairy doesn't do for, I'm just saying, I'm just talking a little crap. I do have some stats on the foundation. I actually texted Cashmere Nicole herself, who is the owner and founder of Beauty Bakerie, about the foundation. So she says it's 30 shades with number 1 being the darkest. There are 10 cool undertones, 10 neutral undertones, and 10 warm undertones. I think it's really good that they were able to get way more colors out of the foundations versus the launch of the concealer. And I definitely think that 30 as a starting point is really good. And I already kind of feel like this might be my shade, but frosted glass can be a little tricky. So one can never be too sure. This bottle is really nice. I do like the fact that it's like a matte frosted. It just looks nice. And I like how the lid is a dark copper. Like if my skin tone were a metal, I feel like it would look like this. Amen. The color that I have here is number 19. There doesn't appear to be any names, it's just numbers. Oh, okay, I think this might be the neutral one. This is shade number 17. And then the third shade that I have here, open, come on, man. I think this one might be too light, but this is shade 15. Here is shade number 15 swatched. Pretty, I would say that's neutral. This is shade number 17. And then this is shade 19. Now I'm blending these out just so that you can see what they look like compared to my skin tone. So the one on the outside is definitely more on the pinker red side. The one in the middle, I'm not sure if I want to call this golden, but it's definitely not pink. Now number 15 is definitely pretty neutral. I'm not seeing it pull yellow. I'm also not seeing it pull red. So I feel like I'm somewhere kind of in between these two. I'm gonna start off with number 15 in the center of my face. If I have to deepen it up, I'm gonna go in with 17. For my primer, I'm gonna use my Tatcha Silk Canvas base. Is that cheating? Because this is like a really good primer. I feel like anything that you put on top of this, like you can't fail. You just can't. But I do really like this primer and I have to go out tonight and I'm trying to be snatched. So whatever, you can judge me if you want to. Wait, you guys, like Beauty Bakerie, stop. Like stop playing with me. These are the blending eggs. They're beauty sponges. They put their new beauty sponges in an egg carton. Like Beauty Bakerie, can you get off of our necks, please? Marketing gurus. How the rest of us gonna compete? How? I'm gonna be trying out the sponges too. I'm really picky when it comes to sponges, but I thought, you know, this would probably be the perfect opportunity to try them out for the first time. And I'm gonna be giving them a shot. Wow, you actually get 6 of them for $18. It's definitely on the firmer side, and I don't like firmer sponges. I like them to be like I want it to be like oxygen filled. So you guys know I love setting my primer with translucent powder before I go into foundation. I'm gonna use the yellow powder. So far the sponge actually feels nice. and it gets nice and humongous. Look at this, look at this, look at this. So here's the sponge dry, and here's when it's wet. It gets pretty big. Your Ashley Queen is ready, Your Highness. Shade number 15. I wish it was a little bit more yellow, but you know what? I actually have a yellow foundation from Face Atelier that I use. So every so often, if I really like a foundation, for example, the Maybelline Superstay, I really like this foundation. It's a little red for my liking, but I still use it. And I do add yellow to foundations like this that I feel need the correcting. Let's just jump right in and see if hopefully we can make the color work as is. Just pumping. It's just pumping, trying to get it out. Uh-oh. That's light. I'm gonna go to number 17 because I already see where this is going. I don't know if there's a shade in between 15, but I feel as if there's definitely room. Oh, okay. So we're gonna do 17, change of plans. We're gonna do shade 17 first. That was just one pump so far. It does look a bit on the red side. Oh, she dries fast. Oh, let me move. Oh, girl. She's coming for the competitive swimmers. Let me hurry up and blend. They are really into this waterproof formula. Actually, at this point, I'm just going to have to add more foundation because working quick. It's so weird that when you swatch the product and then the way that it dries down looks completely different. I think that when I swatched it and it was still wet, it didn't look this, it just looked different. Okay, this is a foundation that you're just gonna have to put in the brush and then apply. No more of pat, and then sweep. That was rough even for me, but I guess I'm working through it. Trying to at least. Also mixing in a bit of shade 15 just to make sure this is all blended out. Okay, that was an experience. Like, the only thing I can say is that was definitely an experience. So far, I actually think the product looks really good, but wow, that was tricky to blend. That was one of the most unique formula foundations I've ever tried. I've never seen something dry down that fast. You know how a lot of people were saying Fenty oxidizes really fast? I'm kind of seeing that this is the same thing happens with these foundations where like the way that they look when you swatch them while they're still wet compared to the way that they actually dry down are really different. Number 17, I felt on camera at least looks pretty red. It's not a non-workable red though. Like I actually think the shade looks good. It is very tricky to blend though. I will definitely say that that was hard for me. My best suggestions would be put it on your brush and then apply, work in sections. Don't do one here, and then try to blend it all out thinking it'll be seamless like most water-based foundations are. You may even have better luck applying a foundation like this with the paddle brush. I'm definitely kind of seeing how unique their formula is and how to work with it. It's really just a matter of like, is this going to be worth the work for me? I don't know if this is going to be worth the work for me unless I was doing something that required me to be outside all day. Maybe it's really humid where I live. Maybe I sweat a lot in the face. This formula feels eerily similar to the concealer formula, and that could be a good or a bad thing. If you had some troubles with the concealer, you're going to have some issues with this foundation. This is your beautiful concealer. Okay, I had to actually switch and blend that out with a paddle brush because waterproof products and damp sponges do not go hand in hand. Yeah, I really feel like your best bet is just blending these products out as quickly as humanly possible because it's just not gonna work. Okay, contour doesn't seem to be having any issues blend out. Everything on top of the foundation is blending nice. I don't know, y'all. I feel like I keep looking at myself and I think this looks really good. And I haven't even said it with powder yet. I feel like my face right now looks like what I usually look like after I have set with powder. And that's a good thing. Let me just powder and I'm gonna tell you more of my thoughts. I'm taking the sponge and the powder and I'm gonna set that. I'm gonna put some around my mouth and my smile lines. By the way, before I finish the rest of my face, I just wanted to show you guys how these swatches look. It almost kind of, this is completely smudge, well, okay, not completely. It is pretty smudge proof. Now, of course, if you put tons of pressure, it's gonna come off, but It's pretty bulletproof. I will have to say that. I also do want to mention that I read the instructions on the back of the foundation box, and it recommends that you hold that thought. They recommend that you use the Wake and Bake oil first, which I almost kind of feel like that might have been important. Now, the only thing though is like, first of all, I have oily combination skin, and as much as I love my oils, I prefer to use oils at night. So I guess I just didn't think that this would work for me. And so I was a little hesitant. But now that I see how the foundation reacted to my skin, I think that the oil would actually help make the product more movable. Some people don't want to have to use things with another product to make it work. However, we do the same thing with primers. We do the same thing with eyeshadow bases. I mean, it's all the same thing. Like, it's very rare that you put a product on and then it just performs. So I don't know. I guess it just depends on how you look at it. Let me just see what the foundation does on the back of my hand. I put a drop of the baking oil on first. It says 1 to 3 drops on the full face. And it says, give it a minute. Oh, it soaks into the skin really nice. Now I've got 1 drop on the back of my hand, and let's see what happens. Okay, so I do feel like that's much easier to blend. That's what it is. So primer's everything. You definitely, yeah, you need, wow, what a night and day right there. Cashmere, why you didn't tell me that when I text you? I went straight to the source. I mean, whether or not you're willing to spend the extra money to buy this product just to get the foundation to work is really up to you. But I actually feel like I did a pretty good job of applying it, considering how rough and tough she was, girl. She was a little resistant, girl. She was definitely trying to roast me. Okay, ladies, choose your fighter. I choose the NYX blending brush. I'm gonna finish out my look because I got some place to go, girl, with the Do It For The Gram eyeshadow palette. Well, you know what? I don't even know what I'm wearing tonight. So before I get too loud with my makeup, okay, let's just put orange on both eyes for now. Then I'm gonna take the mauve color right above it, and I'm blending those into my crease and also along my bottom lash line. Then I'm gonna take this color, this beige white shade, and pop that on my lid. Actually, I felt like this was a little too light, so I'm mixing this one on top. I'm gonna lay down a bit of brown liquid liner. When I really want to tan, I use the Coffee and Cocoa palette. I love this palette, is so cute. This bronzing palette. I'm going to take the darkest shade here. It's a pretty rich color, so a little bit goes a long way. Now loading LeBron James. LeBron James is now loading, people. I'm going to take this, what's this? Tattoo Couture matte. It's like a lip stain. This is like a lip stain from YSL. It's cute. It's red. I wanted like a little cute pouty lip color. Actually, no, I changed my mind. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pop this in the middle, just in the center. Around it, I'm gonna apply some Fenty Gloss Bomb for a nice, juicy, plump gradient lip, girl. I'm gonna finish this look with some, what's this called? La Vida Mocha. So cute. And a little bit of You're Grounded as a highlight. Then I'm gonna take Deja Brut right underneath my cheekbones to cut it. Add a little bit more sculpt. That is actually my favorite color from the palette. Oh, I forgot my inner corner highlight. Wait a minute. I'm gonna take You're Grounded. Wow, she clapped back, and pop some of that right in the middle. And there we go. I feel like today's look is giving you California dreamin', sun-kissed goddess. Take a picture, snap, Santa Monica Boulevard. Okay, so I'm gonna wrap up some thoughts on I look so good. Oh my God. So I have the mirror right in front of me, and I have the monitor there. So I'm looking at my makeup in different angles. And final thoughts on the foundation is I actually think it looks really, really good. I have a personal relationship with Cashmere Nicole. I mean, I know her. I definitely admire her in so many ways. She's sweet. I love seeing Beauty Bakerie flourish as a Black-owned brand. And just being honest, I would never openly trash her brand. I I just wouldn't do that. And anybody who has a friend that owns a business would be lying if they said that they would not do the same thing. You just wouldn't do that. You know that person. You have a relationship with them and you don't want to see them fail. I'm not going to trash the brand. However, I am going to be completely honest with the products, how I felt about them, and how it was using them. I like the foundation. And now that she has the concealers and the foundation out, I'm starting to really understand how they work. Even with the lipsticks, for those of you guys that use the lipsticks, you guys know they're budge proof, they're smudge proof. You put them on, they dry down, and they do not move. So I feel like I'm noticing a pattern here. Beauty Bakerie is setting a standard in their brand in that they want their products to be smudge proof and they don't want anything to budge. Literally, even all the way down to the complexion products. I know how YouTubers are. I know how the beauty community is, and I don't necessarily know if these types of products are going to be received well, just because I feel like I can already imagine, just based on the feedback from the concealers, what people might possibly say about the foundations. They were difficult to blend. They definitely did dry down super fast, and at first they looked patchy. Because I had reached out to Cashmere and I asked her, hey, is there anything I should know about the foundation? And she didn't mention or think to bring up anything about like, hey, make sure you prep your skin a certain way. This is a really unique formula. I just didn't go into it thinking that way, regardless of what it said on the instructions, because, you know, I mean, instructions always tell you, hey, do this. This is just a little tip. And sometimes you don't really know how biblical that is until you actually try the product. So with that said, I definitely feel like, based on my experience with how you saw the foundation blend, I think that this is a foundation that's actually best used mixed in with other foundations, as opposed to it being used on its own, because it was a little tricky to blend out. The formula's bomb though. I would definitely use like one pump of this and like one pump of something else. And honestly, I know that people are going to think that I'm biased regardless, which is real annoying because I come on camera and I share my thoughts and I give you guys goods and bads. So if you want to call that bias, that's fine. But I'm telling you that not because I'm trying to sell you or force you to buy the product, or like, oh, you're trying so hard to make. I hate when people say you're trying so hard to like it. It's like, no, if I don't like it, I will tell you. I'm grown. I got 2 titties. I'm pretty sure I can tell you my opinion on a product. Okay, I'm not 15 years old, guys. There are foundations that I have that I love the formula, don't care for it on its own. I think this may actually be one of those types of foundations for me. You know how you want specific benefits of one foundation, but then you want specific benefits of another foundation combined? That's kind of what I feel like I'm getting the vibe here. People who live in the Caribbean are always asking me, what is sweat-proof? Here's your sweat-proof formula right here. Call that whatever you want. I know that a lot of people love throwing around, you're trying so hard to like it. No, like, I look good. Like, don't sit here and say I don't look good, because I look good. And let's take a transfer proof test. Let's see. I'm gonna put her here. Wow! That's pretty good. Nice, you guys. Who is that? Oh, Postmates is here. We could definitely say that this is transfer proof, but transfer proof comes at a price, just so y'all know. There's levels to this whole like transfer proof. Like, you cannot have a foundation that does everything in one and doesn't have some cons. And I feel like if you want something that doesn't smudge, something that won't sweat out in an hour, it's basically spackle. It's basically spackle, which means you may have some issues applying it and putting it on. But again, I think I look good, and I'm gonna check back in a couple hours. All right, you guys. Oh, is that creasing? It is now almost 1 a.m. Come back. There we go. Almost 1 a.m. As you can see, she's pretty dewy. Definitely feel like I need to blot. Like, I'm definitely like, it's just in this area. Please hold while I transfer your call. So personally for me, I stand by what I said earlier. This type of foundation, in my opinion, is just a little heavy duty for me. Like, my skin likes moisture. My skin likes your skin, but better. I still think this would be absolutely fabulous when used with other foundations to like make them more, to beat them into submission. Oh, by the way, my tattoo though, like, oh my God, it looks even cuter on camera. Get out of here. So cute. Yes, we know tattoos of eyelashes are not original and it's been done before, but like, I think that people don't really know that like, it's okay to get a tattoo that other people have. Like, It's okay, you know? Like a lot of people have tongue rings. It doesn't stop them from getting it. It's not that deep. Everyone that was on Instagram Live giving their input, that was fun. And ultimately, I just went with something that I felt was more authentic and true to me. I was gonna get the Leo symbol, but your girl was like, nope, that's a little too basic for me. I low-key have been wanting to get this for a while. So today was finally the day and your girl was feeling froggy, so she leaked. So the foundation after blotting looks much better. It actually looks, I would say, still pretty fresh. Like it hasn't moved or budged at all. I just don't feel like I need this much heavy dutiness, this much waterproof scuba diving. Like I'm just not diving head first into the Pacific Ocean anytime soon. I'm just not. What I would do with number 15, the one that was a little bit lighter, is I would actually use that kind of like as a mixing medium to correct another foundation that's too red, like the Maybelline, for example. I actually do recommend it. I don't think it's a bad foundation, but it's not necessarily one of my favorites either. But you know what? That's one thing that I appreciate about Beauty Bakerie is they know that feedback usually, well, for the most part, because people know when they're not being constructive. Let's just be real. But I think that they take criticism really well. I think they take it pretty fairly. And like if the people say, hey, this is what we would change, I trust that they would take it and like not take offense to it. So that's really cool. And I really admire that. Oh, and the sponges were good. I definitely don't think it was the same or similar quality, but I thought it was a really good sponge. I mean, considering the fact that you get 6 for 18 Zolas, what's the math on that? That's like $2-3. That's like $2-3 per sponge. I mean, not bad at all. Thank you guys for watching today's tutorial. I really hope that you guys enjoyed, and thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I'm just gonna put the next video here while I fall asleep. Girl, I'm so tired. Whew. I'm exhausted. Getting tattoos are exhausting. And then I came home and Dennis was like, you got a tattoo? Why don't British people say tease? He said, you got a tattoo. You're crazy. You got a tattoo? I can't believe you got a tattoo and didn't tell me.